Who wants homemade palabok?
So palabok is a garlic shrimp noodle dish, and it is so delicious even if it looks a bit different than other noodle dishes. Now take a look at these ingredients. We're going to use a variety for my basic version of palabok, but you'll need prawns and onions to begin with the broth. So I like to buy Thai prawns because they've got the head and the peel on, but they're deveined. Take your prawns, separate the head from the body, and take off the peels and put them all in your pot. You don't need a huge stock pot because we're not making a huge amount, but it should be a pretty deep pot. I am not good at taking off the shells. It's been a while, so if you have a better way to do it, please send me a video. So once they're all separated, what you're going to want to do is wash the flesh of the prawns because we're going to use those in the topping, and then rinse the shells once at least, and then cover them with water. So maybe about an inch above the shells. After that, you're going to put them on high, add some salt, and add a chopped onion to the mix. Put it on high to boil, and that's just going to boil while we do the rest of our prep work. This dish only takes about an hour, so we try to do everything at the same time. Boil 3 eggs until they're hard boiled, and while that's going on, mix up a packet, about 10 grams or 2 tablespoons of achuete or annatto powder with some water. It takes a little bit of effort to get it all wet and mixed well. Put it aside. In another pan, put some ground pork, about a half a pound to 3/4 of a pound, and just fry it up until it's golden brown and slightly crispy. I like my palabok sauce with a lot of meat, but you can put less if you like it soupier. Take a block of extra firm tofu. You only need half. I'm just freezing the other half for another use. Chop it up into tiny cubes, and you're gonna fry that after the ground pork is all nice and crispy. So again, palabok is like a really interesting dish. It's garlicky, tangy, and it's got all kinds of interesting textures. So you've got like the meat and the tofu, just slightly crispy but a little bit chewy. The cornstarch noodles, or the bihon, which is chewy and soft. And then the garlicky, really pungent shrimp gravy that sits on top. For this recipe, you need a lot of garlic. This is my trick for getting all the cloves out at one time. You need 3 heads, so it's great to have a system. Cut off the top, turn it upside down, pound on it to get all the cloves out, and then chop them up. Your hands are gonna smell like garlic for a while. Okay, once you've got that all chopped up, your tofu's crispy, your ground pork is crispy, it's time to drain off the broth. So just throw it all into a strainer with a bowl underneath and put the shrimp broth next to your frying pan. You can use a wok. I just have 2 pots that I use for this entire dish. Fry the garlic until it's golden brown. I like to do it on medium-low just so I don't burn it right away. Let's prepare the toppings. Take some chicharron or pork rinds, crush them in a Ziploc, cut up a lemon, which we'll use as garnish and also to squeeze on top. Then let's slice up some scallions or green onions, about 3 to 4. I like that sharp taste in the palabok. Now, this is how you want your garlic. Golden brown, but not burnt and not raw in the middle. Add the annatto powder that you prepared before, and then some flour, about a 1/3 cup of flour, and make a roux. So just stir it until it becomes a paste, and then add 1 ladle at a time of the shrimp broth. Not too quickly, or it'll just become really soupy and it won't thicken up properly, but just 1 ladle at a time until you reach the desired consistency. And I like my gravy thick. Some people like it a bit thinner. That's completely up to you. You just keep putting the broth in until it's just right. Don't forget, we're gonna add in the tofu and the ground pork too. You can keep it aside and add it on top, but because I like so much of it in there, I like to put it right into the sauce. So while this is whisking up, boil another pot of water on the side because we're gonna cook those prawns and also the noodles. So once you reach your desired consistency for your shrimp garlic gravy, add the ground pork and the fried tofu back into the sauce and mix it up. Let it sit on low while you deal with your prawns and your noodles. Drop your prawns into the boiling water and cook them until they're just pink, just ready. And then once they're done, add in the bihon or the cornstarch noodles. Plating up is easy. Add your bihon to your plate, top it with the sauce, and then add your toppings. So you've got prawns, you've got hard-boiled eggs quartered, some green onions, some crushed pork rinds or chicharron, And then put your lemon on the side to squeeze over. Other toppings, fried garlic, mixed seafood, tinapa. My kid's allergic to fish, but for me it's all about the garlic and the shrimp. Anyway, yum.